Hey everybody. Now, usually I'm not one to break news, but sitting around today and freaking heard that dang USC and UCLA are talking about going to the Big Ten. And I'm just like, well, here we go. I mean, obviously the conference realignment deal is not over. And I'm pretty much having a similar reaction to how I had when I heard about Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. I think it's terrible for the sport. They're chasing the dollar, and this destroys rivalries and whatever else. I mean, West Coast football is what it is right now, and nobody really watches it anymore or cares over there. But this still isn't good, and definitely kills any chance the Pac-12 had of coming over. And this is why, I'm starting to think the people who say, well, your teams might suck right now, but this thing's in cycles. I'm not so sure about that. I'm thinking, with everything going down, talking about super conferences and everything, if your team sucks right now, there's a very good possibility you'll get left behind. Whether it's NIL and people talking about moving to the half making the college players employees of the school, and then having the football team have nothing to do with the school, or having these big super conferences and everybody else is pretty much has no chance of getting into the playoff. I mean, I just feel like I'm worried. I'm worried for the state of my team. We're having a down time right now, and in my case, Georgia Tech, it's the worst it's ever been in our history, and we've been a very good school traditionally throughout history. And I'm just afraid that we're going to be left behind. We're not in any conference realignment talks. Like, everyone has just short memories, it seems. So, yeah, I am worried about that. And this USC and UCLA to the Big Ten. So much for the alliance that supposedly between the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12. When the Big Ten goes and takes the members, I can only imagine they're trying to look at ACC members. And if the ACC wants to keep up and not have the same thing happen to them that happened to the Pac-12 and Big 12, they're going to have to probably get some more teams, work out some better TV deals and whatnot. I'm not an expert on that stuff, but getting Notre Dame would be a good start. Maybe taking a team from the Big 12 like West Virginia would be good. And then, I mean, looking at the Pac-12, region doesn't matter. What about Oregon? Is Oregon going to want to stick around in the Pac-12? The Big 12 is going to try to start robbing some teams. And this is all rumor, but it's from a source, a Pac-12 writer. I actually did look into it a little bit. The source is the guy, knows what he's talking about. So he did say nothing's finalized as far as this deal goes. But, I thought I'd talk about it because whether this winds up happening or not, I think it's clear that conference realignments are still on the table, not done yet. And it all kicked off with, Texas and Oklahoma moving to the SEC. That's why I was so upset about it. I think this is going to have just devastating effects on college football. It's all about the money now. This destroys just so many rivalries. And I'm worried about my team, yes, and the ACC. Is the ACC going to be, able to keep up? Are they able to stay with the times? It's a very important moment in history right now for the ACC, and we have this new commissioner, so we'll see if he's got what it takes to keep the ACC relevant. Maybe swing some other teams, make it a more enticing conference to join. And hopefully we don't wind up like the Big 12 and Pac-12. I'm thankful that we haven't so far. If Clemson leaves, that would be devastating to the conference. We might as well kiss it goodbye. And I'm just worried about the ACC. I don't know if we'll be able to keep up. I mean, you look at Oregon. I mean, hopefully we're able to sway some decent teams to come over. But you look at now. So say this move does happen. UCLA and USC move to the Big Ten. Um, well, now look at the conference rankings, right? Where does that leave each conference? Well, Big Ten and SEC are up here, right? Who's third? It's got to be the ACC, right? It's not going to be the Pac-12. That's for sure. They're last, and the Big 12 you can make an argument, but they've got like 4 or something group of 5 teams that they've just brought up. It's got to be the ACC. So maybe we'll be all right. Maybe we'll be able to get Notre Dame in there. We have to get Notre Dame in there. We have to get something like a West Virginia, something like, and then I would go after Oregon. I would try. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough time. We're gonna see what happens, but this leaves a lot of unanswered questions. If Lincoln Riley, where's he gonna go? What school will he go to next now that his team's joining a real conference? What other schools are going to be leaving, the Big 12. I'm sure they're looking at Utah. I'm sure they're looking at the Arizona schools. They're going to might wind up being a huge conference and overtaking the ACC if we're not careful. And, it's just an important time. And, yeah, I'm worried about Georgia Tech and where we might fit into this because our realignment stock is not very high at all. So it's a shame, but I guess I'll keep talking about it because this is something I do care about that affects me and every other conference and the ACC and all that. So I'll continue to weigh in, give you my 2 cents. And all right, everybody, go Jackets, and I'll see you next time.